Hello everyone! This week I thought it would be fun to craft with this month's paper pumpkin, and I have not shown a paper pumpkin box on video for a long time, so I thought that would be kind of fun. And for those of you who are not familiar with paper pumpkin, this will give you an idea of what you get in the box every month. So paper pumpkin is our monthly subscription box, and it comes all wrapped in tissue paper, so it's kind of like a little gift when you open it. And I've opened mine ahead of time because I've done some things with it already. But what you get is an exclusive stamp set each month. So usually the stamp sets have quite a few stamps in them. This one has 4 sentiments and then some other images that go along with the kit. Lots of fun little ones. I think the little seahorse and the starfish are my favorite. You also get an ink spot each month, so this is like a miniature ink pad, and you can actually refill these with our ink refills. These are in our color line, and they don't repeat for 12 months. So if you subscribe to Paper Pumpkin for a while, you will get a whole collection of different colors, which is kind of neat. This month there was an ad in here, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about this at the end of the video. But it's Celebration right now, so if you purchase a prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscription, you can earn Celebration rewards too, so that's kind of fun. And then the other side is an ad for next month's kit. The August kit is a special one. It comes in a special box, so usually the boxes look like this, which is fun anyways, right? But sometimes they do special boxes, and this one's really pretty. So it has a sunflower theme, it is going to include supplies to make cards, and it includes a free gift, which is fun too. And 2 ink spots, so you get 2 of the little ink pads. So if you're not already a subscriber, you might consider subscribing to get this kit, because I think it's going to be a good one. Also included every month you get instructions, and these have really gotten a lot better since Paper Pumpkin started, let me tell you. Now they are full color and show you exactly what to do. Paper Pumpkin also has a YouTube channel, and every month they put out a little video that shows you exactly how to put the cards together too. So that is really nice. So as you can see, full color instructions. There's not a lot of words, it's just pictures. You have a ruler along the side to measure your ribbon or twine, because it'll tell you how much you need. And then, I like this too, on the back they give you some ideas of alternate projects. And some of you might not know this, but the Paper Pumpkin Facebook page, every month they do a video where they share alternate projects. So that's kind of fun too. And then it shows you what all is included in the kit, and it tells you the coordinating colors, which is fun if you are doing extra things with your kit or you want to add in some more products that coordinate. Now I wanted to show you this. I punched out all of my pieces ahead of time, and I've made quite a few cards already, but I wanted to show you how things come in Paper Pumpkin kits. A lot of things are punch outs, so all you got to do is punch them out. Sometimes people will get really creative and use these leftovers as like stencils, or they'll use the white space to punch out more shapes and everything. It's up to you how far you want to go with your kit. I had just a few pieces left over. I have crafted with just about everything, but then I found these at the bottom of the box, so we'll see if they get used or not. Other than that, I have separated my pieces, so we're going to make one of each card today. Also in the box, so this is the linen thread that was included this month, and then you also get adhesives, which is really nice. These are the glue dots, and then there was a whole sheet of dimensionals this month. I usually will get out my own glue dots. I do not prefer to use these, but they work, and you don't have to provide your own adhesive. It's in there. So some people really like those. I usually will pull out my regular roll of glue dots and use those instead, but that's totally up to you, and it's nice that it's included. And then there's always envelopes included too, which is nice, and they usually coordinate with the cards. So I'm going to move those out of the way. And I'm going to open up our directions. We'll do this card first. So if you are a new subscriber, you will get clear block in your first kit. The Paper Pumpkin ones are about half the width of this, so it's not quite as thick, but it is this size, and all the Paper Pumpkin stamps will fit on it. So if you are a brand new subscriber, you will get one in your first kit, and then you can use that every month to do your crafting. I pulled out this one because I like the little bit thicker, and it's a size D block if you are looking to purchase one yourself. I also like to use this foam mat underneath. I think these are only like $5. And when you're using our photopolymer stamps like this, this kind of acts like the red rubber does on our cling stamps, and it helps you get an even image when you're stamping. Okay, so I've separated these out. We're going to have our basic gray card base. And I thought these pieces were really pretty this month. They're embossed. I don't know if you can tell that, but there's some texture to them, so that's fun. And then these little coral pieces. We've got a couple tags and our bottle. Now, one neat thing about this month's kit is it coordinates with a bundle in our catalog, and it's called the Bottled Happiness Bundle. So you can see it here. It's a punch and a stamp set, and the punch will actually fit. It's the same size as this bottle, which is kind of neat. So we also have these shaker domes that are in that shape, and I've seen some alternate samples already using some of these shakers to do shaker cards too. So if you are into coordinating stuff and you want to get a little more use out of your Paper Pumpkin kit or your stamps, you could get that Bottled Happiness Bundle and use some of the stamps with that. That would be fun too. Okay, so this tells you to put dimensionals on the back of this. I'm actually just going to do it flat with my seal. The seal obviously does not come in your kit, but I sometimes get out my other adhesives, and you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. Like I said, you get some in the kit. I just like to pull out my other ones because that's what I prefer to use. All right, and then we'll do our stamping. So first we're going to need, let me see here, this little texture piece. And another tip, if you have the big ink pad, I like to pull mine out and use the bigger ones instead of the tiny ones. But that's personal preference too, and you can definitely use that little one. So if you're using the little one though, my tip would be to turn it over and ink the stamp this way. That's a little bit easier. Okay, so we're just going to stamp this on the corners like that. Oh my. All right. That'll probably get covered up, so that's okay. All right, and then in our bottle, I should have brought myself my chamois to clean my stamps because I'm going to be making a mess. We'll just have to be extra careful not to get ink anywhere. I thought of that before I started and then got distracted by one of my kids and did not come back to me to bring that in here. Okay, so in our bottle we're going to stamp this little message, rolled up message. When I was using this earlier today, I thought this actually would be great for like a rolled up diploma if you were doing a graduation card. Wishing you all the best would go well with that, or sending good thoughts. So that was kind of a fun idea I thought of when I was stamping with this earlier. Okay, and then we need the Can't Wait to See You. And this one, it seems kind of odd to me, but you're going to want that hole on the right side. And you'll see why when we put the card together in a second. So, can't wait to see you. Just like that. Okay. I'm going to wind up with ink all over my fingers today. That's okay. That's the sign of a good time stamping. Okay, so now we just have assembly. So these little dots just mean the little glue dots that I showed you at the beginning, and then these are the dimensionals. And like I said, I like to use these glue dots, or I will sometimes pull in my Stamp and Seal. So this goes down flat, so I'm just going to use the seal because that's a bigger area. And then next we're going to put on this coral piece. And I'm just going to put a few glue dots on him. And you'll be covering it up, so you probably just need a few to hold it down, and then the other things that go on the top. Oh, I'm going to run out of glue dots. Okay, so we'll stick with 2 on this one. And this just kind of goes across the center. Well, that's okay. I can use the ones from the kit, and then you can see how those work. So we'll use those for the rest of the projects. Okay, and then for this one, we're going to wrap the twine around the bottle. And it says 9 inches, so I usually will just eyeball it, but there's that ruler on the side, so you could measure if you wanted to. And before we tie it, we're going to put the thread through this hole, and that's why you wanted it on the right side, so that your sentiment will line up correctly. And then we're just going to tie a little bow. Like so. Oops. Maybe we'll tie a bow. Okay, I'm going to have to start that one again. Did you know it's a lot harder to tie a bow on camera than it is when you are crafting by yourself? Okay, and then we'll just make that a little bit smaller and trim our edges like that. Okay, and then this, it says to do 1 dimensional. I think I'm going to do more than 1 though, to hold it in place. Usually I conserve my dimensionals. I don't use a ton of them, but I think this one needs 2. So then that just goes over here like this. And I think I'm actually going to put one under here too, so this doesn't wiggle around. Here's a trick. Don't ever get rid of the edges of your dimensionals. You can cut them apart and use little pieces like that and get use out of the whole sheet. So let's see where I want that. Probably just like that. There we go. So there's that one. Pretty quick and easy, right? That's one of the things I love about Paper Pumpkin, is how quickly the cards go together. So if you need a quick card, it's really nice. Okay, so next one is our Fresh Freesia card base. This is one of my favorite colors because I love purple. And again, this piece is embossed, which is really neat. So it's meant to look like waves. It is directional. You don't want your waves upside down. And then we're going to stamp our sentiment on here. We've got our starfish, and the seaweed gets stamped in there. Okay, so I'm going to adhere this, and then we'll move it out of the way. And again, I'm just going to use my seal, and I prefer the Stampin' Seal Plus. I just feel like it glides on a little bit better than the regular seal, and it gives you a little bit stronger hold. So that's just my personal preference. Okay, I'm going to grab this texture stamp again for our starfish. We'll make sure we get that stuck upside down. I'm trying not to get ink all over myself, but that's probably not going to work. Okay, so this one we're just stamping on the starfish to give him some texture. So as many times as it takes to kind of get him all covered up. Do one more right there. Okay. Take that off. All right, and then our sentiment. Wishing you all the best. I really like the fonts in this month's kit too. Really pretty. Okay. All right, and then we just need our seaweed for inside the bottle. So let's grab that. All right, we'll just stamp that right there. There we go. Now we've just got to assemble. So see how quick that is? And if you are doing all of your cards, then you can even just stamp all of these things at the same time and save yourself even more time. Okay, so first we are going to tie some thread around. Again, it says 9 inches. And you can probably guess I'm not going to measure because I didn't the first time, right? And this one just gets tied in a knot. Now sometimes with the paper pumpkin kits you will have leftovers, like this linen thread. I don't think that you will wind up using all of it. I'm getting kind of close, but I'll show you everything else I made with the kit, and I've just been using this linen thread, so have some left over for other projects. Okay, now again, it shows to use the glue dots, which you can do. That way you don't have to buy other adhesives, but I prefer to use my seal. It's faster. So I'm going to do that. Okay, and then let's see, what is next? Probably our coral. And this, I am going to use some of the glue dots on just because I want to show you how these work. Now, maybe I'll use my take your pick tool. This is another handy tool to have around if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. It's only $10, and it has this end. It has this spatula end that you can use to pick things up too, or this sticky end. My sticky's about out. I need to get a refill, but the sticky end is real good for picking up gems and things. And this works good for these glue dots. This is about the only way I like to use them. Otherwise they just get stuck to my fingers, and that doesn't work so well. Okay, and then we just have to peel off the little backs and stick it on. Maybe you can see why I just like to use the regular ones better. It's a little bit faster, but these work fine. Okay. So we're going to stick this here. Oops. Okay, and then the starfish and the seahorse and the sentiment get dimensionals. Okay. Now, I'm sure Stampin' Up! Did this on purpose, but a dimensional fits perfectly right in the center of that starfish. So I am sure whoever designed that probably did it on purpose and made it that size. And then it shows one cut in half for the seahorse. So I'm just going to use another edge, or you could cut one of the big ones in half. Put that on him. Now let's see. Right there. And then a couple for our sentiment. There we go. Right, and then that goes there. And there is that card. Cute, right? Okay, now we're going to go on to our last one. This one has the Bermuda Bay base. And this one is embossed also. When I was doing my alternate cards, I thought we have a new embossing folder, I think, that has some clouds and like swirls and stuff. That would be perfect to go along with this. I don't have that one yet though, so I was not able to use it, but it's a good one. Okay, now this one, before we attach this piece, we are going to wrap the linen thread around and tie a bow. So let's do that before we forget. The ladies that come to my card class in person, they always, well, I'm sure they don't hate it, but when I make them remember to wrap ribbon around before you attach a piece, somebody always forgets, and half the time it's me. So we learned lots of ways to improvise. Okay, we'll trim those edges. Okay, and then we can attach. This one says with dimensionals too. I'm just going to make it flatter. But if you want, you can use dimensionals. that on there. And this is not a color combination I would have thought of myself, Pacific Point and Bermuda Bay, but it looks really nice. Okay, we've got just 2 things to stamp on this one. We're going to stamp the ship in the bottle and then our sentiment on here. So let's get the ship out. Okay. And we want it to be just a little bit in the water. Like that. Okay, and then our sentiment, Sending Good Thoughts, which was the name of this kit. And then we'll be done stamping, and I will hopefully not be getting ink on. So this one you want to stamp towards the right, because we're going to put that bird, the seagull, on the left side. Okay, I'll close out my ink so that doesn't get in our way. All right, so this one, it says to do with glue dots. I'm sure you're shocked by now. I'm just going to use my seal. All about whatever's quickest. And I really like the seal. Okay, so that gets kind of centered. And then, let's see where to go. This one's going to get dimensionals, and they show just putting them on one side, but I don't think it really matters. We're going over the thread, but it'll just hold it down. So I'm just going to kind of stagger them. I don't think it really matters if you go on the top or the bottom. And you can move your, well, maybe you can't move your bow around. I guess I already attached it. Let's see if I can move it a little bit. Well, maybe not. Okay, that's all right. We'll scoot him in there like that. All right, that's not too bad. Okay, and then our little seagulls are going to get the half dimensionals again. So we'll just cut those little pieces. Stick those on. So that one goes about there. This one will go next to him. And then we have the bigger one. Okay, so this one, it shows a dimensional on his head, and then glue dots, or seal if you're me, on the bottom. And that's because he's going to kind of stick, move our bow around a little bit. He's going to kind of stick on there with the seal, and then his head is above there like that. And then you can kind of futz with your bow and put it behind him like that. Cute. Okay, so let me bring those cards in again. These are the 3 cards from this month's kit, and there's enough supplies in the box that you can make 3 of each of those. So if you just want something simple and you just want to make the cards as is, you end up with 9 beautiful cards. Now, I think it's fun to sometimes do something different with some of the supplies, so I'm going to show you what I did with the rest of my box, and I mostly stuck to just using the supplies that were in there. I just mixed and matched them a little bit. So this was the first one I did. So I used some of the same elements, but I switched around the card base and switched out a few of the elements. And then one thing I found that coordinated really well, and I love to add a little embellishment to my cards, is these fine sparkle adhesive back gems. These are in our new July to December mini catalog, and they go with the gnome suite. So let me show that to you here. They go with this suite in our mini catalog, and the colors in here, let's see, are Calypso Coral, Pale Papaya, Pacific Point, and Pool Party. So the Pacific Point and the Pool Party are colors that are actually in this paper pumpkin kit. The coral is not the same as this. This is Poppy Parade, but I think the tones are similar enough that I use some of them. So if you are looking to add a little bling to your cards, I recommend these for this kit because a lot of the colors really match, and I liked how they looked with these cards. So that was the first one that I did. Then this was the next one. So again, I'm just mixing and matching elements that are already in the kit and using kind of similar layouts, but just changing it up a little bit. And then here was this one. So that's how this compares to this. Really the only difference is the card base was different because I was mixing and matching. Okay, then this one, I pulled in that cute starfish stamp. We didn't use that on any of the cards in the kit, but it's included in the stamp set, and I think it's really cute. And this one, I left out the Pacific Point and the Poppy Parade colors because I really like this color combination, the Fresh Freesia, Bermuda Bay, and Pool Party. I think this was my favorite card that I did. Then I did another one like this, and I decided to do one with this background and not using the ship stamp. So I just did some of the other elements in there. Then for this one, I wanted to use the waves with the ship, but I cut it down because it goes this way, and this bottle does not really fit that way if you go across. So I cut it down, and I cut it to 4 by 4 1/4, I think. I'm questioning. Well, anyways, it was a strip that cut off. And then I could still use the ship with the waves. And then I used the piece I cut off on this one. So the last 2 cards I brought in my own card bases. I just used 1 sheet of Bermuda Bay and then some basic white cardstock. But these other things are all still from the kit. And this little seahorse stamp is really cute too. That wasn't used on any of the cards in the kit. And then I brought in some Fresh Freesia ink. So how I got the lighter colors is I just stamped off. So I stamped the seahorse once and then stamped again without re-inking. And same with that seaweed in the background. That gives you a couple different shades. And then this was the last one I did. And I used I forget what this embossing folder is called. But it goes with the Friends Are Like Seashells bundle. And since I didn't have that cloud one I was telling you about, I thought this was a good match. So there's that one. So those are all my alternates and my recommendations to get those gems to add to your cards. Now the last thing I wanted to talk to you about is it's Celebration right now, which means you can get rewards for purchasing prepaid subscriptions. And there's a lot of math involved in this, and I will admit I've never crunched the numbers before. But somebody asked me about it yesterday, and I thought this would be a good thing to share and to actually figure out what is the best deal. So some of this is a little bit wonky, and I don't know why Stampin' Up! Prices it the way they do. But I'm not in charge of that. I'm just here to help you get the best deal. So there's a couple different ways to subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. The first is month to month. So if you click on the link to subscribe, your credit card just gets charged every month. The 10th of the month is the deadline for each month's kit. So usually you get charged between the 11th and the 15th. And you get charged $23.50 for your box each month. So that includes what I showed you, the stamp set, the ink spot, adhesives, the supplies to make your projects, everything like that. With this option, you don't get any Celebration rewards. You're just charged every month. But during Celebration, purchasing one of our prepaid subscriptions might help you earn Celebration rewards. And if you are purchasing one of the larger ones, it actually does save you a little bit of money. So with the month-to-month option, the shipping is included in that. Now here's the part I don't really understand, and like I said, I'm not sure why they do this, but I'm just here to tell you, and you can decide what the best deal is. Prepaid subscriptions have shipping added to them. So our shipping costs are $7.95 or 11% of your order, which is whichever is higher. So it's around $70 when you start paying that 11%. So if you purchase a 1-month prepaid subscription, it's $22.50, which is less than the $23.50, right? But then you have to pay the shipping. So it actually is a lot more. And you're not going to earn any Celebration rewards at that level. Now, if you're ordering other things, and you add this to your order, then it might be worth it. But honestly, I don't know that it's ever a smart idea to buy a 1-month prepaid subscription. Maybe as a gift for somebody, because you can send them the code and that would be fun. But for yourself, you're not getting the best deal if you do that. A 3-month prepaid subscription is $67.50, and then you'll have the $7.95 shipping. So that works out to $25.15 a box. It is still a little bit more than the month-to-month price, but you will get one free Celebration item. So that's kind of a toss-up for me. You can decide if that would be worth it for you. And with the prepaids, what they do is they send you a code, and then you enter it in your Paper Pumpkin account. And then you just get your boxes, and it's not charging you during that time because you've already paid ahead of time. Now here is where you can start to save yourself a little bit of money, and during Celebration is a great time to buy these if you are a subscriber or if you're planning to subscribe, because it ends up costing you less than that month to month. So the 6-month prepaid subscription is $122.50, and then that would be $13.48 in shipping costs on top of that. What that works out to is $22.66 a box. So now you're under that month-to-month price, plus you get Celebration items. You either get 2 of the $50 items or one $100 item with that. So that's a good deal. If you have the budget for it, the best deal is the 12-month prepaid subscription. It's $235 plus $25.85 in shipping costs, and it works out to $21.74 a box. So that is actually your cheapest way to get your subscription. Plus, during Celebration, you either get 4 of the $50 items, 2 of the $100 items, or a similar combination. And if you are spending more than $150 on your order, you also get host dollars, which can be used on anything that you want, including some host exclusive items. So at $150, you're starting at $15 in free money to spend on whatever you want. So with the 6-month prepaid subscription, you're getting close to that. You might want to add something else to your order to bump it up and get the rewards too. And you'd get another Celebration item that way also. With this one, you would, I think you'd be up to $23.50 in host dollars. And if you look at that price, you're only $15 away from getting another Celebration reward too. So you might want to add $15 to your order and get another Celebration item too. So lots of options, but I just wanted to share that with you so that you could figure out what is the best deal for you. If you're a subscriber, definitely think about purchasing a prepaid subscription during Celebration. That is when I always purchase mine. And like I said, you do need to have a budget. This is the best deal, but if you don't quite have money for a 12-month, the 6 months still will bring you out to a cheaper cost than the month-to-month, and you will get your Celebration items too. All right, I will post links for the prepaid subscriptions and for subscribing month-to-month in the description of the video when I'm done. I'm also going to post a link for joining my email list. If you are not on it already, you can sign up, and I send reminders about Paper Pumpkin and all of my other classes, and that's the easiest way to stay informed in case Facebook doesn't always show you, because we all know how that works, right? Thank you for joining me today. I hope you have a great week. Happy stamping.